welcome to Jam 2023, Day 2. I hope you enjoyed that opening video. I promise you I'm going to give you the story behind that video a little bit later today. For those of you that don't know by now, my name is Mike Winsman. I'm the Transfer and Technology Director at BCCAT, and I'm going to be your host and MC over the course of today. How many of you were online yesterday? A quick show of hands. Almost all of you. Wonderful. So I told you yesterday you were going to hear a lot from me, and if you got annoyed or tired of my voice, you could just put me on mute. Unfortunately, for everybody here in person, you cannot put me on mute today. You are stuck with me for the majority of the day, but I promise you I'm not giving as many presentations as yesterday, so hopefully you can stomach it. We've had a tremendous amount of engagement last night. I was really impressed with everybody online. The questions were hopping, the chats were fulsome, the questions were on point, and it was really wonderful to see. We have over 360 people registered for this event, including here today where we have our first ever sellout. We made quite a few jokes yesterday about Taylor Swift, and we now have something in common with Taylor Swift in that we are also selling out our events as well. I don't know if our army is as strong as the Swiftie army, but I think the Jammies are pretty good, and I think that you guys really made us all proud. We have a full day of different topics today. The theme of Jam 2023 is building the big picture of student mobility, and all the sessions yesterday and all the sessions today speak to some different piece of the puzzle that makes up our transfer system here in British Columbia. I'm not going to spend too much time up here. I am now going to pass the baton over to Hereditary Chief Gibby, who is going to come up and give us a welcome. He came to our event last year and gave us an amazing story, an amazing welcome. And so we liked it so much we invited him back, so no pressure. We're very pleased to have you here, and so please put your hands together for Hereditary Chief Gibby.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to our traditional homelands, a small portion of it, and we're still waiting for the check yet to get here, but happy to have you all here and welcome you on behalf of my people, the Squamish people, our families from the Tsleil-Waututh and Musqueam. Welcome as well. I guess as I was getting here this morning, I was out in the front thinking I could get into the hotel from that way, and I read that stupid little note, you gotta go all the way around the back. But anyways, I had my sunglasses on, because I didn't want people looking at my rotten eye, as I got a gland in there, it's swollen, and just I can see mostly, but not much. Anyways, I was walking and then I wiped out. First time I bit the dust in a long time, except there was no dust, it was black. I had my glasses on, the sidewalk was black, so I wiped out. And I was laying there and I thought, oh my God, you're getting old. And these two lovely ladies come up to help me. They said, oh, can we help you, can we help you? And I was laying there, can we phone an ambulance? No, I'm okay. And, they kept asking me, you need some help, you need some help. Oh yeah, maybe some mouth-to-mouth resuscitation would be fine. Oh no, he's all right. But do thank people, for not walking by, and supporting each other as human beings. There's too much of that, just passing each other by. That's my message for you today. Anybody in trouble, give them a hand. Never hurts. You'll get a lot of benefits from it. Number one, in your own heart, you'll feel a lot better about your day and your life by helping out. I want to share one thing, is that you'll see a lot of different cultures when they're praying. They have their hands out in the Salish do this as well. And I want to tell you, the reason you do this is, number one, you're not closed. I see a lot of people do this when the prayers are on. They're closed. They're closed to what's going on. So if you're open, you're both giving and receiving by your hands being open. We all need prayers, one sort of or another. I need prayers that I won't fall down again. But it's one thing I always like to teach, and that'd be my lesson for you today, is to be open. There's too many people who are closed or got their hands by their side. It's easy to do this. And in our culture as well, the Salish, this just means thank you as well when you're doing this, two hands. And so I'm going to share a song with you, and I want you to get up and dance. No, I'm just kidding. But just remember, keep your hands open and pray for those things that you feel in your heart you need to pray for. I have an awful lot of things that I need to pray for. My career working with my nation spanned 40 years, and I retired 7 years ago, and so happy I did. Now I can do what I want to do with who I wanted to do when I wanted to do it with, and it's a good thing. So anyways, I'm going to share a song, ask you to all to rise and share in what's in your hearts and in your minds. Oh, 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 oh. I wish you all a great conference, day 2, and much success to each and every one of you. Good to see some of my colleagues from Nicola Valley Institute of Technology here today. Always good to see you, brothers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief Gibby. That was wonderful. I'd like to now turn the microphone over to Angus Graham, who is BCCAT's brand new co-council chair. Yesterday was his very first event at BCCAT, and then last night he hosted the transfer award ceremony. So now you're a grizzled veteran, all ready to go, no longer has that new co-council co-chair smell, and is ready to go. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Angus.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Chief Gibby, and for those wonderful words. I raise my hands to you, and keep our hearts open, and to keep our sense of humor, and to look after each other. So I wonder if it's possible just to start. I know this won't come for the online folks, but can I do just a selfie here? I know these aren't trendy anymore, but for my scrapbook. Well, is everybody smiling? Oh yeah, no, we got some, oh good, we got some smiles. My kids all say, Dad, nobody does selfies anymore, but I do. And so yeah, yesterday we learned a lot about Taylor Swift, but the other thing I learned last night was that whole thing about AC/DC at the beginning, that was because somebody got my name confused with one of the band members. And my last name is not Young, it's Graham. So, but it was nice to hear all those great tunes during the breaks. So thank you, Mike and Chief Gibby, for those inspiring thoughts this morning. And hello to all of those joining us at distance today. And you figure there's about a couple hundred joining us. So that's amazing to me. I'm still amazed at how many people from such diverse locations and institutions and organizations from across the country. So is the Ontario in-studio audience still with us on day 2? All right, everybody give a round of applause for our neighbors. So this is lovely, and it's the second hybrid version of JAM, and it's one of those things around. We talk a lot about access at BCCAT. I've been involved peripherally with the organization since I became a faculty member at Selkirk College in 1992, and so it's wonderful to join you again after a brief hiatus after retiring from Selkirk to support what is really one of the foundational institutions in the BC system. And it's wonderful to be able to share that with other jurisdictions across the country and right across the province. It's all about course equivalence, transferability, student mobility, and of course, this is an annual gathering or rendezvous to strengthen and celebrate those partnerships. And that's really what it's all about. All the work that the wonderful staff do and the volunteer army across the province, that's the work they do, is they advance this wonderful institution and they continue to strengthen it. And we heard a lot of really interesting things yesterday. We started off with a kind of a one-on-one or 101 review with Mike, and it was great for me because I had been sort of out of the system for a while, but just for the new people and maybe even the grizzled veterans, just to have that reminder about how the thing works, and there are a lot of moving parts. And so during the course of the day, we heard from so many scholars and researchers on the work that they're doing to give us better evidence on how this system can succeed and be better. We heard from Dr. Fiona McQuarrie and Mike to do on the resources that they put together for the curriculum guides and the articulation guides that are out at the front. And then Dr. McQuarrie also shared some of her findings on best practices with respect to course outlines and syllabi. And it was really interesting for me to hear that because that's something we talked about all through the 90s and early 2000s when I was a faculty member. We received an update from the Ministry Executive Director, Ben Farrell, on the digital learning strategy. And it's really exciting to hear that project is moving forward. We learned so much during COVID, but we also had a whole bunch more questions coming out of that about how to continue to use technology to support our students. We heard from an expert panel from 3 different institutions with current data to help us understand different technology-rich and connectivity-dependent accessible pedagogies, and the challenge for faculty in applied laboratory and practical programs, particularly in assessment. So at the end of the learning, how do we capture that in technology-rich environments? And we heard about typical student preferences for various pedagogies from University of Fraser Valley Research Vlad, and just some interesting takeaways around student preferences. It's always something for us to keep our attention on in terms of what do the students want? You know, they might accept an online program, but if it's not their first choice, how are we continuing to make sure that we support the transfer system for that? And also some very interesting data on GPA achievement and the similarities between the modalities. We learned about the concept of summer melt. That was very cool because it meant a completely different thing to me up until yesterday. But summer melt, this idea of losing touch with prospective students over that summer before they enter, and all the work that we can do as a partnership to make sure that students don't melt over the summer, that they stay engaged so that they continue to live out that choice to come to post-secondary. And so it's important for clear communication. So some of the materials that BCCAT puts together and the online resources are so critical to making sure we stay in touch with students as they arrive on our shores. And then Elle shared the insights for the U.S. On the U.S. research on the proactive admissions. They have like 6 other terms for it, but that was the one I managed to get down in my notes. But just this, the idea in the States that they've tried where you sort of automatic admissions into the system once you leave high school. At Selkirk, I think we tried something like admissions on the spot during career days and those kinds of things, but this was a very interesting study that had very interesting implications for what we might try here. And then we ended the day with a celebration. It was so nice to celebrate the crew from VIU, but also, of course, Stephanie Boychuk, who's their ABE chair, and BCCAT ABE Steering Committee co-chair and an instructor in ABE at VIU. And just lovely it's what we should do always more, and I think that's reminiscent of Chief Gibby's remarks, is just to celebrate each other as much as we can. Anyway, it was a great day. I learned, as I say, a lot about Taylor Swift, but a whole lot of other learning that was really great. So one last thing I just wanted to leave you with, and it's not on my speaking notes, but when I came in, there's this document as well called Sustainable Transfer. And I know the wordage is meant for a different purpose, but in some of the other work I'm doing, whenever institutions or councils or organizations can line up with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, it's a great thing. And I just did a quick check, and the work and the mandate of this council and this organization lines up with UN SDG 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13, 16, and 17. And 16 and 17 being the really important ones around strong institutions, peace, and justice. And then 17 is partnership for achieving those goals. And so it's a great kudo to this organization that you're behind half, at least, of the UN SDGs. So at this point, I'd like to just welcome you all and ask you to have a great day today of fun and friendship and learning. And I'll hand it over now to some prepared remarks by the Honorable Selina Robinson, Minister of Post-Secondary and Future Skills. And thank you very much, everybody, for putting up with me on my third event. All right.
Hello, I'm Selina Robinson, Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills. And I'd like to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the traditional territories of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, also known as the Songhees and the Esquimalt First Nation. On behalf of Premier David Eby and the Government of British Columbia, I want to commend the BC Council on Admissions and Transfer for all of your hard work this year. For more than 20 years, the Council has been overseeing BC's post-secondary transfer system. It's your efforts that make your system work and that make it possible for students here in British Columbia and from outside the province to transfer between institutions. There are many reasons why students choose to transfer to another post-secondary institution. Whether it's personal or financial or academic, it's essential that students have the opportunity to receive their education at an institution that best suits them. Flexible learning pathways are important for our students so that they can complete their education and go on to succeed in their chosen career. Without you, this would not be possible. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do to help students thrive and for our economy to thrive as well.
All right, thank you, Minister Robinson. Thank you for sending in those remarks. We always appreciate the acknowledgement, and thank you to the Ministry for arranging for those recorded remarks. Okay, we're going to do a quick warm-up, and then we're going to move over to our keynote. And I just want to say hello to all the people that are online. I just want you to know, you can't quite see this through the stream, but I can actually have a monitor right in front of me where I can see what's going on in the chat and the questions and answers. So hello, Steve. Hello, Michelle, Pauline, Ernest, Chad, all the people that have said hello so far. If you want to get your name shouted out online as just record it for posterity, say hello in the chat, and I'm happy to acknowledge you as well. You guys are all jammies, jam veterans, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. But I will remind everyone that's in the room that engagement with the online audience is encouraged, and it can still be done. So if you go to the web app or the mobile app that you have on your phone, you can still engage and you can connect with other people online. For those of you that have the physical agenda in front of you, there is a QR code at the top. We're all familiar with those now. That will take you right into the web app. So that's another way for you to connect. Just as a reminder, the more you connect, the more we connect. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Carolyn. Thank you. Get this going. Oops, pushed the wrong button. 1 second. Okay, so here is the agenda for day 2. Everything is live. So yesterday was a mixture of pre-record and live, and we had questions and answers. Today, anything can happen. So the first thing we had to make sure was that all our presenters showed up. They did. I'm happy to report. Thank you. I was a little bit nervous, Rich, but I was glad to see you when you showed up at 9. For everybody that's here, we will have microphones that can run around to ask questions. So if you have questions, you'll have an opportunity for that. For those of you that are online, please put your questions into the Q&A, and then we'll be able to have those addressed by our speakers. If you're watching online on the screen, you can enable closed captioning. Just hit the little CC button at the bottom of your player. I mentioned yesterday how I'm at the age where I turn on closed captioning for literally everything because it saves me nagging my wife, saying, what did that person say? So yeah, if you want to turn on closed captioning, please feel free to do so. We also have our big picture puzzle game that is going on, and there's even a physical puzzle going on in the foyer as well, if you're so inclined. This apparently has been very popular. There is a key phrase that is displayed at each puzzle, and that is at the end of the day, we're going to be selecting 3 winners. You have until 2 p.m. to email in your answers for that puzzle game, so please do check that out. You can access that through the community tab in the Whova app. And just as a reminder, this is a mask-friendly event, so please feel free if you would like to wear a mask, please go ahead. Please be respectful of each other. And we encourage you to engage at the level that you feel comfortable. We do have cameras in the front, and we have photographers going around. So just keep that in mind. If you're not comfortable with that, please let us know. And if you have any questions, obviously you can send us an email. So you guys are all pros, so we're going to do just a quick warm-up. I'm going to skip this slide because we did that yesterday. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to say hello. What I'd like is for everyone in the chat to put in their name, say hello, say where you're from, tell us how you're doing. But here in the audience, we're going to do something different. We haven't done this before, and like I said, it's live, so anything can happen. What I would like us to do is to say hello to the audience online. And we're going to do that by waving. And you can see that I said, let's do the wave. And I spelt wave specifically W-A-I-V. That is not a typo. I did not mean, let's do this, but you can do this if you'd like. But I did mean you can also do this. What we're going to do is we're going to have the cameras turned on you. So rather than being on me, we're going to have the cameras start over here, and we're going to ask you to wave to the audience. If you are not comfortable with that, you can put up something in front of your face. That's okay. No one will judge. Then you won't be captured on screen. But I thought this might be a nice way to just say hello to everybody online. I see the hellos are flooding in on the chat. Hello, Rob. Hello, Jen. Hello, Ruth, Marta. So are you guys ready for that? You guys okay with that? Okay, we're going to start over here. Can I get a thumbs up when we're ready over there, Sheldon? Okay, we're good. All right, everybody starting over here. Say hello. Start waving. Let's go. And we're going to move over to the room. All right, and then we're going to come back. All right. See how many people are here? I had a friend who used to be in a band, and they would get maybe 20 people come to their events, and he would invite them all on stage and then do a selfie just like Angus did to try to show the world that there were 1 million people at the show. All right. Look at all those smiling faces. All right, that's wonderful. You guys did a great job. Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you to everybody online that said hello. This is wonderful. I think we're off to a good start, and we are right on time. That's even more of a good start. So